Hey, B, I'm going to hit you with something right quick.
Okay.
A little breaking news on the podcast. The Houston Texans have traded wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins and a late round pick to Arizona for running back David Johnson.
Kyler Murray is doing some jumping jacks, but that also probably ruins the whole CeeDee
CeeDee
Lamb
Lamb
to
too.
Arizona.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right. And that's really interesting because Hopkins is owed 14 million in 2020, 15 million in 2021, 13.9 in 2022. But yeah,
He
that
can't
really
stay healthy though either. That's just my
DeAndre
problem.
Hopkins? You
Didn't
talk
he get hurt last
No,
year?
you're talking about Will Fuller.
Well, full. That's what I'm
Yeah. No,
thinking. Yeah.
Hopkins is
Yeah,
I
he's a
mean,
great fantasy.
no,
He's a
but
great
he's
fantasy
also
wide
like he's
receiver.
the same. I mean, he's not the same, but he and CD have a lot in common with how they play the game.
Right.
Huge hands,
Big burly guys that can just
well, and catch everything
run good routes.
that's in their radius, and they're really great after the catch.
Right.
So
Right.
I know that Colin is
Well,
probably
would you still go get CeeDee Lamb if you were them?
it's
I mean,
possible, right? But that also depends on how you feel about Larry Fitzgerald, Hakeem Butler, and Andy Isabella. It frees you up. It frees you up to get another edge rusher, which I think is the move for them. I thought that, yeah, you would definitely want to go get a wideout like CD, but it's fascinating that they went ahead and made that trade because
yeah, but you want to make your quarterback happy, and he's gonna want CD, right? I mean, that would be.
no, but
I think
he's also
Cliff Panderson. I
I
think Cliff Panderson's to
but
Tyler.
Cliff doesn't make the decision. Steve Keim does.
That's true. I know Kime does, but still, I get it.
Nah,
But
man, I'm with this trade. I like this trade because
I do too.
You get Larry Legend on one side, you get you get DeAndre Hopkins on the other. You got Andy Isabella running in the slot with Christian Kirk, and when
Right.
Hakeem Butler actually
Hey,
turns into a guy,
Kirk became a stud at the end of last season. Finally, he's talking about somebody that's been hurt. That dude could not stay
right?
healthy for
Well, and he
life,
was
and
one
he
of the
finally
best,
got healthy.
and he was one of the
And
best high school players that many people had ever seen when he got to A&M. Once he came
from
out of Arizona,
Arizona.
yeah,
Yeah, and this is prideful for him. He wants to be
right.
for the Cardinals. Yeah,
No,
so
so like
it's a great
now
good move.
we got to lock CD in to Oakland, Las Vegas now, right? Got to lock him in.
Well, I don't know. I think they have two picks, don't they? They have a
Yep,
late round pick too.
yep.
Yeah, I think so. Just a funny story. You remember I wrote about on OU Insider about me talking to a GM or a scout. I said scout at the after the Bedlam game, talking about Kenneth Murray, about how good he is.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes he doesn't see it and he's out of place, but when he does see it, he really sees it. That was Mike Mayock I was talking to. I never named it, but I can now. Um, and Mike Mayock and
he's
I
such a
talked
good
again.
dude, by the way.
Oh man,
Like he
he's
gets
awesome.
it. Like we've both spoken to him on occasion, and he
Yeah,
like two things. One, just a cool dude, and he understands that the media is doing their job even as he's doing his, and he'll be kind of
right,
he'll be kind of brusque, but he also understands a story is a story. And the second
right.
thing is he gave it to Traber in the press box at Boone Pickens. Did I tell you the story?
No,
So Mayock's sitting in front of me at Boone Pickens, right? And this is where I got the jewel of him writing CeeDee Lamb across the top of his notebook because that's what he was there to
yeah.
scout. And Traber said, just kind of shouts out, "Who you here to see, Mike?" Yeah, huh? I'm gonna tell you. He's like, "Yeah, you're gonna tell me because you keeping it real, right? Because you're telling it 100. You gotta tell it like it is." Yeah, that's right, Mike. I do. Yeah, well, you tell your listeners I didn't tell you, and I'm gonna bleep that. But like,
Oh wow.
is good. Is good. Is
Oh,
is good. I love Mike. I love Mike because I think
he
it.
was so good. He was there to see Kenneth though too. He flat out will tell you straight up
Oh yeah, because they need
that he
linebacker. They
loves
need a
Kenneth.
wide receiver.
Yeah, well, I mean, and he wasn't the deal with Mayock is he knows, like I even asked him before I put it out there. I said I wrote it, I typed it up, and I saved it in my notes. And I said, Mike, here, I handed him my phone. I said, I'm going to ask you, can I post this like this on our site? And he read it and he goes, absolutely. And I appreciate you asking me before you did it. And I said, yeah, no problem, because I didn't want anything to get back to you. Just in a roundabout way, if it did get back to you, I know the odds aren't great. He goes, no, that was just really cool of you to do that, blah, blah, blah. So he started talking about Kenneth Murray for a long time and CD, and he loved both of them. He talked about Jalen a little bit. He thinks Jalen has the potential to be, he said it, Dak. He said Dak. He goes, he is so much like Dak. I know you don't like
No,
that
go ahead.
comparison.
I'm not gonna stop. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, he just kind of talked about just the physicality, the way that they were used in college, the development that could happen in the pros. But he said the one thing he did say, he said with Jalen, he doesn't think it's going to be as quick of a development because of just how he was used. Bama kind of regressed him a little bit by lining him up at wide receiver and doing all that type of stuff. He said just kind of screwed with him a little bit. He thinks that it's going to take a little bit more time, which I thought was an interesting way to put it. I don't know. I mean, he's a good guy though. I liked listening to him talk because he can break down guys really, really well, and
Oh yeah.
he makes it simple. He puts it really simple for just a novice person to understand.
No, he's great, and I wish him success. I'm not a big Raiders fan, but I like Mayock, and
Me either.
there's parts of John Gruden that I like. There's parts of it, and of course they got my guy Josh Jacobs as their feature tailback. So I watch a lot of Raiders games.
Right. Yeah. Hey, real quick. The funny thing is about our conversation at Pro Day is, so I walked up. I said, "Hey, Mike." He goes, "You're the Broncos guy I talked to at Oklahoma State, right?" And I was like,
Eh, I like that. I like
and he
that.
goes, he just kind of started joking with me. I was like, "Yeah, guilty."
Attaboy. Attaboy. Uh,
So,
B, is there something you want to get to that we didn't get to, dog?
no, I just want everybody to know that just don't think that OU Insider is going to be devoid of information. Today we're doing a chat. Obviously, this is a Monday. We're doing a chat on OUinsider.com here in the next couple of days. Colin, myself, RJ have a bunch of stuff coming. I've got big stories coming, plus little tidbits of things because the coaches are still talking to the players. And I think
Recruiting is still going on.
recruiting is still going on, just as if it's like in the dead period, which we had a really big dead period month because we kept bringing information. And obviously, we're going to do breakdowns. We were talking about this off air before we got on here. RJ's got what was it that you had?
I got a piece on Rambo coming in the wide receiver
Right,
depth. Yeah.
right, the wide receiver depth, and then you're doing the breakdowns of what were you? Would you say you're doing the top? Well, I can't remember what you said you were doing. I just went blank. I'm doing the breakdowns of like position to position stuff. He's
And
doing stuff.
we'll go through needs at the
Schedule.
recruiting, and we'll go through the
Right.
schedule.
Yep.
So
All that.
what I was saying, I was actually just waiting on you to say. I was waiting on you to see if you remember. No, I'm going to work through what OU's needs are in the 2021 cycle,
Right. That's what you were doing.
and in the 2022
Right.
cycle. I'm also going to go through a couple
Right.
of players that I expect to have big years because they have to, which is why we're leading with Rambo on that
Right.
front. I know B's going to go position by position, and I mean it's going to be as it
And we're
always
doing
was.
schedule game by game too. We're going to go game by game. Obviously, these are going to be. There's no injuries putting this because we don't know what injuries are. We're going to we're going to write it as if everything's healthy, as if the suspensions were pretty much upheld, all that type of stuff.
Right.
I mean, we've got some stuff coming, and obviously the insider notes on VIP recruiting. Basically, what we're saying is don't worry.
B.
Every day you're going to have multiple things, and obviously there's a message board to talk about whatever the hell you want to on OU Insider. So there's still stuff going on.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Appreciate you, B.